Peace, love, everybody, and welcome to God Wins TV. I'm your host, Reverend Sonja. I am really excited about today's video, and I can't wait to show you my new science experiment. I know, me, right? Yeah, I did a science experiment. But first of all, before we even get into that, I want to thank all my subscribers who have tuned in to God Wins TV and subscribed and shared the videos with other people. And that means the world to me. Thank you so much. Because when you share a loving, caring video with somebody else, it means that you care for them so much. And that is the best thing that you can do for them. And so thank you so much. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, the thing that inspired me to do this science experiment was I just want to bring your attention to this book here. Can you see this? This book. This is called The Miracle of Water by Masaru Emoto. Masaru, Masaru Emoto. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, what he has done is he has taken glasses of water and frozen them. Wait a minute. What he has done is he has taken water, exposed the water to one word, and then frozen the water. And just as the water is freezing, he will look at the crystals that form into snowflakes. And depending on the type of snowflake that the water makes, different kinds of crystals form. Okay, so the crystal that's on his book here, he's a researcher in Japan. Can you see that? Like that kind of washes it out, but there you can kind of see it. Isn't that beautiful? There. That is the crystal that is formed with the Japanese word that means love and appreciation. Okay, now that's gorgeous. Different crystals form with different kinds of love words. With the word joy, different kinds of crystals form. Or if you have negative words, sometimes like really mashed up crystals form. I don't know if I'm allowed to actually open the book and show you the pictures, but you can easily look it up on the internet and just do a search for water crystals or something like that, or just even put in his name. Like I say, it's Masaru Emoto, Masaru, Masaru, Emoto. Okay, and you will find all kinds of pictures, like beautiful pictures. This one for sure. And he was inspired because he had thought at one time, well, is every snowflake the same or different? And so he decided to start experimenting like this. He and a colleague researcher. And so they have gone all over the world showing all of their pictures and their results and everything like this. So later on, like they would do things like there was this lake, and the lake had been polluted for quite some time. And he heard that, the town was going to get together and they were going to pray over this lake. So he and his colleague went over to the lake, gathered some samples of water before the prayer, stuck it in the trunk of the car, covered it up, and then went and took samples after the prayer and put them in jars, labeled them, whatever you need to do. Took them back to the lab, and it was amazing when they made crystals out of this water. The crystals from before the prayer didn't even have the energy to make proper crystals. They were just horrible little squiggly things. And then after the prayer, the water made these beautiful crystals. So the question was, what was this energy that was influencing this these changes? Okay, so he calls it Hado in this book. This is by the same author, The True Power of Water. He calls it Hado, Hado, and he abbreviates it as healing and discovering ourselves. Now, he didn't call it chi, like in the Oriental cultures, they call it chi, the energy that flows through your body. In Christian cultures, they will call it the descent of the Holy Spirit, or different people call it different things. Is it all the same thing? I really don't know. Um, I am a Christian, and the Holy Spirit, to me, has a personality. I ask him questions, he answers me. So I just don't think it's the same thing. Can I prove it? Not really. But this is why we have to look at things from all different angles. So after a while, Mr. Emoto decided to do an experiment on something else with words. So he took a couple of jars of rice. And he's in this book, The True Power of Water, he describes his rice experiment. In one jar, he wrote on the jar, "You fool." And on the second jar, he wrote, "Thank you." Both jars were clean, both jars had rice in them, and he watched how the rice would mold after a given length of time. The rice in the "You Fool" jar turned black and slimy and disgusting looking, whereas the rice in the "Thank You" jar turned like a bright orange. So it when you look at these kinds of things, you can say, well, one is obviously good and one is obviously bad. But really, what does that mean? That it is interesting nonetheless. But that's the question. What is it? So when you do a rice experiment, and people all over the world have gone ahead and done their own rice experiments, and have found similar results, and have, they just put it on the top of the TV or something and watch it over 30, 60 days or whatever, and just watch how the rice will rot. And you have to put your word facing the rice so that the rice can see the word, if that makes any sense. So therefore, I decided that I was going to do a rice experiment. But I was going to change it up a little. I wasn't going to use words. I was going to use symbols. Why symbols? Because so many times people will say, "Oh, don't use this symbol because it's considered bad." Or no, this symbol is considered good. Take the peace sign. In the 70s, we all wore peace signs because we thought we were talking about peace, and that's a good thing, right? And now I hear the peace sign is actually very bad because it's an inverted cross, and it's the arms on the cross are broken, and that's what makes the peace sign. And so it's actually very, very bad and very anti-Christian. So, and with any symbols, they could be, we are the ones who put the meaning on the symbols, but what really are symbols? Ink and paper, really. And so How can, same as words, ink and paper, how can they affect the way the rice rots? I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. But I decided to do this science experiment. I started it on June 2nd, and it has gone for a full 92 days. Today is day 92. So I think it's pretty much run its gamut, run its course. And before I bring it out though, I'm going to show you some pictures and some clips, and as to how I started, and basically kind of the results that I started seeing after a while. This is so wild. This is crazy. But anyway, it's very exciting. So here it is.
Okay, so here we see the first jar. This is the Christian cross, and I've just taped the cross onto the side of the jar and put the rice inside so that the rice can see the symbol, and just closed up the top of the jar. Secondly, we see the occult pentacle. Now this is a circle with a star inside it. Now this is an outline of the occult pentacle. Same amount of rice, same kind of a jar. And thirdly, we see the Islamic star and crescent. Again, this is a solid figure. The rice inside of the jar, same pot of rice, same conditions, exact same conditions. And then we see the three together, and these were all done up at the same time. And I put the labels of what they were on the top so that they wouldn't influence the containers, what was inside the jars. So yeah, they were all put together, and then finally I put them in the bathroom, the spare bathroom cupboard, so that in such a way that they wouldn't influence each other. Like, so there's nothing in there that should influence them. There's no noises that really go on in there, no music or anything like that. There's actually very little. And then I closed up the cupboard and put them in the dark.
Peace, love, everybody. Welcome to Godwin's TV. I'm your host, Reverend Sonja. Just wanted to show you something really quick. This is a new rice experiment that was started on June 1st of this year, and I just wanted to show you my results. Instead of exposing rice to words, I wanted to expose them to symbols. I just wanted to show you what happened. Here we go. Just take a quick peek in here. Okay, first of all, up here we have the Islamic star and crescent. Islamic star and crescent. As you can see, there's the Islamic star. You look at that. There is mold growing like everywhere except on the side of the star. Is that bizarre? Everywhere with the moon, not on the side of the star. That's so crazy. Okay, then, oopsie. Then we have the occult pentacle, which is a circle with a star. And there is, like, look at this, virtually no mold in here whatsoever. That is crazy. That is totally not, oh my, there might be a tiny, tiny little thing right there. That's it. This is like 45 days. No mold. What is up with that?
Look at that. And then lastly, we have the Christian cross. The Christian cross. And here we do have mold growing. But it's all towards the cross. I don't know if you can see that. It's all towards the cross. Up next to the cross, like the cross is attracting it or something. And there is nothing. It's red, but it's not moldy like. That is so bizarre. I have no idea why that turned out that way. You would think that the Christian cross would be, like no mold at all, and the satanic or the occult pentacle would be like a mold all over the place. And the Muslim, what is that called again? Islamic star and crescent, who knows what that would happen, but isn't that the weirdest thing? That is so crazy. Anyways, we'll check on this a little later again. Peace, love, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Okay, so what'd you think of that? Hey, crazy, right? So here we go. Here is the first one. I'm going to show you again. The first one I want to show you is the Christian cross. If you look at that, if you can see that, what we have here is this slimy, disgusting looking, kind of reddish, muddy kind of thing. And what's interesting about this is that it started off away from the cross. You see that? It started off this side, away from the cross. And as it comes towards the cross, it's changing. It's changing. It's getting lighter colored. We've got this light, powdery, dove gray kind of a color. And then as it gets to and clings to the cross, we've got this white, fluffy, beautiful, kind of powdery kind of mold. It's very, very interesting. You see how it's white, fluffy kind of thing. So I was thinking about this. We start off with this reddish, almost like a dried blood kind of a look. And I was thinking about this, and I thought to myself, that kind of reminds me of that verse. And so I looked it up. This is it, word for word. Come now, and let us reason together, says the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. Now that's Isaiah 1:18, and I thought, wow, is that really what that means? That's really cool, So, but then I was looking at the second one. This is the Islamic star and crescent. Here we go. Again, we have this reddish stuff on the bottom. This one looks more liquid, as a matter of fact. More liquid, more chopped up kind of thing. And the white mold is not at all, hardly at all, against the symbol at all. You can see that. It's not hardly at all against the symbol, but around the rest of the jar. So it's almost like it's crawling away from that symbol. And that is very interesting. And I also noticed one thing.
where the star is all in the front of the star, none of that white mold even started. None of that mold even started. It's like just redness there, and nothing really even progressed there at all. See there. And now the star, I hope I've got this right. The star has its point up, straight to the ceiling. Okay, has one point up. So I believe that is correct. I mean, I could be wrong. Not perfect. So yeah, but nothing in the front of the star even was able to progress to the whiteness. Interesting. Very interesting. This is the one that blew my mind. I'm not kidding. Look at this. This is 90 days. This is the occult pentacle is the proper name for it. You've seen these maybe with a picture of Satan in it or whatever. And this looks sterilized, really. I was looking at it and I asked my husband about it. He said, "Don't you put that on the internet. You'll have everybody running to join the Satanic Church." I said, "No, oh, come on." So I was asking the Lord about that. I said, "Lord, what does that mean? There is no mold in here at all. There is one little tiny," and I don't even know if you can catch that. One little tiny, right there, little black spot. See that? Little black spot right there. That's it. That is it. I said, "Lord, what does that mean?" And I felt like he replied that this symbol here, this symbol, killed everything in this jar. He killed everything in this jar. Now that brings up another whole set of questions. So people wear these around their necks and they feel that they're cool. Well, okay, whatever. But if you have somebody who wears one of these or know somebody who wears one of these, here's my question. If they wear it around their throat, do they have thyroid problems? If they wear it on their chest like a necklace, do they have maybe lung problems or heart problems? Is it going to affect you physically? If that thing kills every germ in that jar, good germs, bad germs, whatever bugs, what happens when you put that on your body? How's that going to affect you, right? Maybe we should put these in our washing machines and kill all the germs in our laundry. But would we want to wear that afterwards? Who knows? I don't know. That's bizarre. So what I'm going to do right now, this has been a full 90 days, and I'm going to tell you, all of this rice is Uncle Ben's converted rice. All the same kind of rice. All from the same rice pot. All of these jars went through the dishwasher. They all had the same thing in them before they were emptied out. They had, actually they had coconut oil in them. So when I was done the coconut oil, I just put the jar in the dishwasher and took the label off and whatever. So all of the jars are scrupulously clean. All of the jars had the same kind of rice in it. We cooked the rice and just put the rice in the jar, same spoon. So there's no reason why they should all mold differently. There's no reason at all. Now, if I were to have done this properly and scientifically, oh, and by the way, in this pentacle, the one point is down and the two are up, like how they usually would make a goat's head out of it, right? Okay, so, now what was I going to say? What I think I'm going to do right now is I'm going to change it up a little bit. Because this has been a full 90 days. It really hasn't changed a lot since around, 60 days. It's been the same thing. Nothing has really changed. So I'm going to take these labels off and move them around and see what happens in the next little while. Okay, I'm going to take this one off. I'll show you. Okay, here we go. I've got the jars all labeled. That's another thing I wanted to say. All the jars were put in darkness. Okay, they were put in, actually, we have a bathroom in our house that really isn't used a lot. Like, nobody showers in there. It's just used maybe a couple of times a day, if that. It's just kind of like a spare bathroom. And I put it in the medicine cabinet. You know, closed off, dark. And so there's not a lot of speaking in there, hey honey, where are you? I'm in the can. That's about it. There's not a lot of music that goes on in there, so there really should be nothing that has influenced these jars other than the symbols. Okay. They were all in there for the same length of time. Like I say, it was all dark. Nobody touched the insides of the jars at any time. And oh yeah, and if I were to have done this properly, I should have had a fourth jar with no symbol on it at all, just as a control, just to see how rice usually would mold, right? But I didn't do that. I only had 3 jars at the time, so whatever, it is what it is, right? Okay, so I have now changed the symbols on the different jars. Okay, and I will tell you what they are and my logic behind it, right? Okay, so the Muslim symbol is now on the Christian results. Okay, so and my logic behind that is because Muslims want Christians to turn around and become Muslims. Okay. The Christian cross is on the satanic results. Okay. Why? Because Christians want those in the clutches of Satan to be saved. Right? So we'll see if any mold happens there, if there's any life in there at all. Who knows? And the satanic pentacle is now on the Muslim results. I don't have a logic line for that. It's just it was the third one, so whatever. We'll see what happens, right? Okay, so now I don't know, but I think I could be the first person to do the race experiment with symbols. I don't know. But I would encourage you, don't believe me just because Reverend Sonja says blah, 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 right? I would encourage you, believe me, because you tried it and it worked for you. I would encourage you to try a race experiment yourself. Put different kinds of symbols on it that you believe are good or evil or whatever. We could do all kinds of symbols. We could just do jars with numbers on them. Maybe the 666 is really bad. Who knows? I don't know. Everybody and their dog seems like they want 666 as their symbol just because it's an attention getter or something like that. Like there could be so many things that we could do. We could do a jar with I already said numbers with colors on them. You know, is pink really, really good? Is blue really good? Is orange really bad? Is, you know, who knows? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. I thought all colors were really good at some point. Are pastel colors good and dark colors bad? You know, I don't know. But I would encourage you to do your own science experiment and just see what you come up with and write me. Tell me what you think of this, because this is crazy to me. That's nut. There's no reason why that should work like that, right? Okay, so so peace, love, everybody, and I hope you had a good day. Like, share, whatever you need to do. Share, please share. Okay, and we'll see you on the next video. Okay, bye. You know what, too? I've just put the jars back in the bathroom cupboard, and I am sticking my thumb in some salt here because salt is cleansing. One thing that I missed telling you is that when I was looking at these symbols online and just trying to find, you know, a proper cross or something that was considered really evil or whatever, when I looked up the satanic pentacle, you know, all these pictures come up, and oh, I felt this rush of pressure just come against me right from the computer screen. It was crazy. I was like, oh, I'm not going to stay on this page long, I'll tell you that. You know, I picked which one I want, and that was it. And I don't know if the symbols that I picked, like as you saw, the cross was a solid cross. It was not an outline of a cross. Okay. The moon and star were solid. And the satanic pentacle was an outline. Okay. I didn't want to add any pictures or anything like that because that could skew the results, right? I just wanted a plain, that's the basic symbol, and that's it, right? So as I'm putting the jars back, something really weird happens. You know that I can feel things with my hands, right? And I am on a quest to learn what to do with that, how that healing works. And so as I'm putting the jars back, I'm putting, you know, the Muslim one there, the Christian one there. And as I'm putting back the one with the satanic results, all of a sudden I felt this huge tingle on my thumb. And I was like, and you know what, usually when I feel that, that's usually some kind of like, it's usually like an illness on somebody else. Like I can feel their cuts or scrapes or something like that. I can feel them on the palm of my hand. And I never opened the jar. I mean, I'm not going to open that jar. And but I just felt this huge, like, I don't know what. It's like this huge tingle, like just like a real irritated tingle on my thumb. So I'm sticking my thumb in salt, and it does feel a bit better. And I just find salt cleansing. You know, I mean, God made 2/3 of the oceans of the world with salt for a reason, I think. And when I've worked with healing with people, I just, and I feel like, I don't know if you've ever, you know, if you've ever changed a diaper and you've accidentally touched poop. And then you feel like, oh, I've got to wash my hands. That is the way my hands feel. Like, it's just like, oh, I like to be clean. I really do. And I wash my hands a lot. And so just to get that tingle off, that feeling off, and yeah, it's starting to feel really a lot better. I can still feel a little bit. But, guys, isn't that just the weirdest thing? It's just so crazy. So I'll be glad when this is done. If things don't change, I'll let you know. But if they do change, I'll let you know as well. Like if it yeah, what I'm expecting is that the jar with the satanic results that now has the Christian cross on it, I am hoping that that little tiny thing of mold will actually grow, like there'll actually be life there. That's what I'm hoping. With the satanic pentacle on the Muslim one, I'm expecting whatever life is there to probably, I'm going to guess that it'll turn to black slime or something like that. That it'll just turn absolute, like if it isn't disgusting enough, that it will turn absolutely disgusting. So, and with the other one, like, I don't know. I don't know what the results will be. I'm only guessing. Those are just my guesses. And we'll see. So I'm going to go wash this off. But I just thought I would add that. That's the oddest thing. Huh. Because we've always been told, this symbol is bad because we believe blah, blah, blah. And so therefore we just say, okay, well, that symbol is obviously bad because so-and-so said it's bad. But really, why is it bad? What does it do to us? How is it going to affect us? So, yeah. I remember a story one time. There was this doctor who was doing energy healing on a patient, some kind of energy healing, and he had, it wasn't a satanic pentacle or anything, but it was like I think it was it was a skull. That's what it was. It was like one of these yucky skulls, on his t-shirt. And what was happening was the doctor, all his other patients he could treat, because he was a chiropractor and he was doing chiropractic work, plus he was doing this energy work as well. Okay. And as he could treat his other patients, but this patient he was like getting nowhere with. The energy wouldn't penetrate or something like this. And he said to him, maybe, and this guy had health problems, right? And he said to him, well, maybe that t-shirt is affecting you negatively. Maybe you might want to take it off or something like this. And the guy thought he was crazy and he never returned. So think about what you're wearing, if you're having health problems or whatever. And maybe if you have like symbols like that, maybe change them out for something else and see if you feel better. I mean, what do you got to lose, right? Have you got rings or some things with skulls on them, or things that would symbolize something evil, because spirits dwell in things, and that's that's another video. But yeah, maybe try that. Maybe try changing out some of the things that, might symbolize evil and replace them with things that would symbolize good. Okay. Try that. Okay, so this is Reverend Sonja again for Godwin's TV. And we'll see you on the next video. Okay, bye. Peace, love.